Hi, this is Mia. It is really, it's like I have to hold up something light so that I cannot just be a black blob on their dark people problems. Hold up my mask. If I hold up something light, it usually adjusts the light. Today is Monday. My partner did not have to work today, and I said, you said he was going to Walmart. Wait, why did we go out? Oh, I had to go to the bank because I've been trying for months to get a debit card number, and I couldn't get a debit card number. I swear it's in here. I swear it came in the P.O. box a couple months ago. So I went into the bank with a card that was just the ATM card. I didn't mean to shut my checking account down, but I had some abuse issues with my relative that was connected to this account. So in order to stop all of that, I asked, can I shut this account down? And the guy says, yeah, you can shut the account down. And he just did it. I go, wait, I'm not sure. I wanted to know if I needed to do anything. I'm the primary account person. They just do transfers between the two accounts. I'm the primary account holder. And he goes, oh, it's already shut and your money's going into your savings account. So it went and shut it down. It didn't even like zero it out. And I was in Oregon. The account I opened was in Michigan. And it was not that brand of bank. I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember what the other bank was. There was the other bank or credit union before, and there may or may not have been even another one that I had. Because there was another. I think that I didn't have a bank there when I was a kid, but there was a bank in the same bank building in my old hometown. My mom used to be a manager at roller rink, and her and the cashier used to take that. That would be a good job. Cashier at roller. I don't know if it's a good job or not, but that lady was one of the most chill people in that place. So she also like chain smoked. She gave me a pair of Jordache jeans. She was super skinny, like German, skinny white lady, older. She gave me a pair of Jordache jeans. I'm like, they were a little bit too tight for my big butt, my non-Caucasian butt. I did wear them a couple times, but I was like, she was like so lean because of the chain smoking and everything. That was back in the 80s, and my mom used to take stuff to that bank real long time ago. Banks change names and get bought out. It's like Wells Fargo and Wachovia or whatever I could get. Like, what the heck? I never heard of the first one, but when you live up here in the south, on the east coast, on the west coast, it gets a little bit confusing. As far as certain banks, national banks, and credit unions, which are usually local, it gets a little bit overwhelming. And when you can do transfer to transfer, you don't need the card. You don't need to remember the PIN. And for me, I don't want to use an East Coast bank card at an ATM on the West Coast and get $3 charge from the East Coast bank and a $2.50 charge from my other bank. You know what I mean? I also have a couple accounts where I am, which reminds me, where I am digital only. Although one of them at least has a place in Oklahoma. I don't know where, in the south somewhere. You can go in because if you try to look at something and they're like, they'll put up some address about if you have a question or you need to do this or bank deposit box. Like, wait a second, it's like it isn't actually online. But I went in a couple months ago. I came out here, and I noticed that two of the national banks were out here, and I said, great. I have a personal business account at A personal business account at B. I had what I thought was I forgot it was just a savings account, the ATM card with a debit. It didn't have the chip in it. So I called on the phone and I said, so I found out that my bank out here, the two banks out here, I don't even think they have ATMs out front of their buildings. They're like investment offices or mortgage offices, something like that. That has nothing to do with. Let me go and I have all these alerts going off. It's nothing about let me go in and like figure out which let me go in and figure out which bank I'm going to go into or use for ATM, which there is none. And again, you get that charge. So I brought up the other bank accounts because I don't do this, where if it's like online only or they have one branch but they're nationwide, you end up getting where you're once in a while they'll say, I don't even know, things change because they're losing money. Up to 5 ATM transactions a month, you'll get, like if you go through Star or this or something starts with a C, if you go to one of these banks, you'll get up to 5 times a month, you'll get a rebate or a refund of your non-R ATM charges. And I don't know if you use Bank A and you have a card for Bank C, I don't know if Bank A and C will charge you and you only get refund on C, or if it's because it has the right like little letters, Cirrus or whatever they have, if they're gonna still charge you. I feel like if it's like, what about standard, like you go to 7-Eleven, there's just a standard ATM that doesn't have a bank and it's real skinny and light brown tan, like what about those? So I get here and I notice that there's my bank A and B are here, and I realize those are not banks. Drive past them, those are just office buildings that you had to go in. And I mean, again, I didn't really check for ATM. I'm probably dead. Like the closest ATM is 45 minutes to an hour away, and so I had to do some bank business. I don't know why. Well, I was trying to deposit some money orders that were my kid's name and address on the West Coast, but they were in my name but with their name next to it, and I was like, this sucks, they need this in their name. And so my kids had to send that to me, and I took a picture because then I've heard people 10 years ago talk about getting a tax refund check, and they took a picture with the online bank and were able to get the money deposit. And that was the olden days. I mean, people still had iPhones and stuff 10 years ago, but it was like, wow, I don't have that. I guess that's because your bank is only online. But then nowadays they're like, oh, have you tried the app? Because you can do that on the app. So I get these government postal money orders, and it has the money written in digital, non-handwritten, and it has little dots, and I take pictures of the front and back, and I sign it, endorse it, and I write what it told me, online deposit only. And I did it for one, not the other, and I was like, oh my god, I did everything I could. It took me like an hour. It wouldn't even take a picture of the back. I did the front, it would not accept the back. And then I finally got the front and the back, but then the front was like, they're like, we can't read it. It's just a $2 check. Like, no, it's not a $2 check. It's like way more than that. Do different light. So I did like daylight, 2 different days, darkness, flash on, flash off, lights on, lights off. Is there a glare? Is this? Am I put it on the floor? Put it on the bed? Put it on the table? Like, I did every kind of thing. I said, oh crap, I already signed this check. This was not as easy as I thought. So we had to get in the car as soon as possible and cross over the Bay Bridge and go into a city in the afternoon, not knowing, oh my god, do they close at 4? Do they close at 5? God, I hope they close at 6. It's like, if anything, I think they were closed. I think it was like 10 minutes till close. I said, crap, I'm going to go in here and go to the ATM and deposit both of them in the ATM with a note that says it didn't work. That the online deposit did not work. Must put in ATM or whatever. And I thought, I didn't want to go in person, have to verify my ID and be like, you look shady, why do you have so much money in money orders with the address that doesn't matter. Like, I wanted to probably bring my old ID that has my old address on it, that has my kids' names under it. It's just shady, even though my name is very unique. That's my account number. So I ended up thinking, I'll go to the ATM because they won't be scrutinizing me, put the money in that's got my name on it with my account, and my permanent address that's on file with the bank, and they can look at that. But when you drive in a different state, certain states, you're not allowed to be driving for so long, or you can't do things like banking and stuff, or open up accounts. They wouldn't let me open up a PO box with an out-of-state ID, even though I had mail here and all kinds of stuff. And they're like, why don't you just get mail at where you live? And I was like, my landlord does not like it, and I get mail every freaking day, and boxes. Oh my god, I get boxes like every day. It's almost literally like I am in a business. I am in a business, but I need stuff going out. I need to sell it. The stuff you see up here is I'm supposed to take pictures and sell it. So what happened was, I thought if I put the checks in there, or the money orders, then I will be able to go in person. The last 5 minutes they're open, just in case they wait. Your ATM ate my money, ate my card. Like, you ever get paranoid that if it's in your town, it's annoying. We're gonna have to work all day, and next thing you know, I had time to come in during open hours. And in Portland, it was 9 to 6, except for Saturday was whatever it was, 9 to 1, I think. But it was like, it was fine. I got deposited. Usually, I try to get a paper receipt. Sometimes I like a emailed receipt just so that I have a digital record, because those receipts get to be, look at all the paper around here. Well, the only problem I have with the digital receipt, unless you sit in the parking lot and look at it right away, which might not be available, is making sure that when you have a paper one, you can say, I put in $100, it's either credited today or not today, and I have already had $50 in there. And, what's available, what's deposited, and then what's your total available, or if it's a check, this should be available, credited on the 28th instead of today's date, whatever. That's the one thing I like about paper receipts. I just feel like, you ever go places where they say one or the other or both? I'm like, pet stores, notorious for me to do the receipt digitally, and I'm like, oh god, this sucks. Because now I am not knowing if my discount went in, And the pet store has all these little, do you want to donate more money for this? Do you want to do this? Blah, 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 blah. Do you want to buy some cat food for homeless cats over here? And then you got all this going on over here, and you have one cashier, and you have people behind you that want their dog to get the free dog biscuit, and they think they're impatient because they think I'm too slow. So it's easy to get distracted and not see all of the price, which I think some places that have that whole discount game, I swear, sometimes it's like they want to do whatever they can to they advertise it at $5, and you go out to the cashier and it's $17.50, and you're like, and they're like, no, it rang up $17.50, and you get the last one, right? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this for my guinea pig for his birthday. They call back, someone's like, well, I can't even find it on the shelf, and then you're like, can I run back there and show them where I got it and what the tag said? It said the 3 liters of this or whatever toy made of wood that's apple shape or whatever. And sometimes I swear it's like people will like take the tag off and be like, well, yeah, there was something there, I removed it, it was expired, or that shouldn't have been like that. Like, that's what I hate, because it's like, I don't want to rip them off, but I would have made a better educated decision. $5 to $17 is a big difference. $5 to $6 or $7 is annoying. I did that with chicken once. They said if you ring it up wrong, you get it free. The chicken said it was $5, rotisserie chicken at one of the stores in Portland. I get up there, it rings up $7.99, and I was like, and that's also, there's days I counted the pennies, and even I counted wrong, or stuff rang up wrong. I counted it on my calculator on my phone, and I'd still go over and have to put stuff back all the time. So I was like down to the penny. I don't have the money. I don't have the refund or the resources. And they're like, no, we're not going to honor it. I'll switch it to $5. I said, well, this sign right here on the, where it says how to write a check, use ID, and if it bounces, $35 check, all that stuff. I'm like, it says right here that if it rings up wrong, I get it free. He's like, well, I'm giving it to you the right price. So they had to call a manager over because she refused to do it. And she's like, I'm not going to do it. And the manager came over and gave it free. Next time I went back to that store, that sign was gone. And what sucks about that, it's not necessarily the cashier's fault, and they should call a manager because that's the store policy. When you have a grocery store that makes 100 rotisserie chickens a day, and at the end of the day I'm the only one, and they charge $3 more, you just made $300 extra dollars, and you won't give me my $5 chicken. I don't want to be a pest, but that makes me mad. That is false advertising. That makes me mad. And I know that humans make mistakes, so I'm not trying to say shame, I'm never going to shop here. But it's like you have that policy, and I am nitpicky, and I'm counting the pennies, and I'm poor, and that is going to give me and my kids some nourishment, some protein, not just sugary, cheap potatoes and starches. And, you know, there's all these kids in the neighborhood that had type 2 diabetes at age 8 and 11, and come on. Seriously, like, it's way cheaper. Even if you spent $7.99 on a cooked chicken, it's way cheaper to get a chicken this big than it is to freaking buy a raw chicken, which is anywhere from, like, where I would shop, even the cheaper places, it's anywhere from, what, the cheapest would probably be $7, maybe in a 2-pack, and you didn't having to pay $14. Like, it gets cheaper by pound if you get it. You get it by pound, maybe $6.92 if it's on sale raw, and it's sometimes smaller. $6.92 for that by pound, like whatever it is for pound. And then you could easily see chickens $13, $14, $15 for one raw one, which I rather do raw. But when you're working and you're a student and you're traveling in rush hour gridlock traffic twice a day and going to church to volunteer at night, like, God help me. If there's one thing I think I'm gonna do this experiment. I'm gonna tell you guys, and I have a webinar soon. I'm gonna tell you guys, I gave a lot of money, time, back-breaking volunteer work, donating food and materials, and made stuff for the church, and just thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I was in a homeless shelter, and I was made to feel if I didn't help that I would go to hell. I was brainwashed. It's like cult-like, where they want you to give all your resources, and then they look at you like, why you're wearing clothes that are too small, why your kids, have short pants. It's like, I made it feel that I have to give to you before I even pay my rent, and that's one thing if you're tithe. But if you're not able to even afford your rent and you're on welfare, like, you need to spend, like, you need to ask God, because don't get me wrong about tithing, but you need to talk to God about maybe you should take that money and reinvest it and take a hiatus. Ask God if you can go out and freaking buy a interview outfit, Maybe ask God if you can spend that money and get a car wash so you don't look all raggedy when you go to a job interview and the person's looking out the window, And even if your car is tacky, at least if it's all muddy and nasty with bird poop and stuff, like this person, I don't want them in my office. Maybe you are a hoarder, maybe you are messy, but clean is a different category than messy. So I'm not telling people not to pay tithes, but I'm really telling people that get literally like $400 in welfare and food stamps. Like, you gotta do what God tells you. You could do what the church tells you. If you're a member and you need to follow those rules, then do it. If you chose to be a member. So I'm not telling you not to do it, but you need to ask God, how can I get to where I tithe on money I earned because I went to work? But if you can't get the job, then you have to pay your rent and pay your taxes and pay for gas in the car so you could do what you can do, go to school. By law, that's one of the things by law you have to do. You don't have to go to church, you don't have to volunteer, you don't have to go to work. But your kids do have to have some form of education, or you're going to have some truancy issues. I think that if I went back in time, I did ask them if I tithe on borrowed money for my medical school. They told me, gee, we don't have an answer for you, gee. I'm like, and it's like that, if in doubt, you better just give it to us. So that was a problem. And I'm going to ask God to bless my, like, stocks and bonds in that building, which I donated so much, and they bought a building, and I've been here renting. Even if I bought a piece of land, because it's one thing, too, if you have the rules and you decide to be a member and follow their rules, you can't join the gym without a membership, whether you have a scholarship or not. You can't join the gym if you don't have a punch card or pay by the day, $7 a day. So if you feel like you can't go to the church without tithing, then you do that because there's some kind of faith and belief in that. But the offerings is also where it's not, they want to say give freely, be a joyful giver. The offerings are above and beyond. And there's a lot of people that say you tithe as a farmer that much of your crops, and your if you're sacrificing lambs, your first of your lambs and stuff. And so I'm not trying to discount that people do it, and it's like going to a 12-step meeting in a way. In the 12-step meetings, you have somebody passing a hat or passing a basket. Some of them, they have childcare and they need a certain amount. Some of them, they have to make rent, like they have to make $40 a night. So they'll pass the basket again. Sometimes you're in a meeting and everybody's going to put $1 or $2 or $5 in there, and you feel guilty if you don't put anything in there. But the meeting, it's your choice, and I felt like it is more joyful. Sometimes you're getting money out and you're like, oh sweet, I got $3 the other day. Like I haven't had a job in 7 months, 6 months. Like you're all like, I got $2 in my thing. I'm gonna put at least $1, if not both, in there. And then all of a sudden, while you're fumbling, they just pass you, and you put it in the next meeting. And maybe God had it where they passed you, and you're like, okay, I'll put my purse back down. Never mind. Sometimes you run up to the table and stick your money in. But like the Pharisees, you don't need to be flashing money. And God, that happened at the ATM. I'm not even finish that story. I got my PIN number, which is not my PIN number. It's some other number associated it. And I did not put my cash in the bank, and I put it in the ATM, and there was a line. There was like 3 people waiting for the ATM, and it wouldn't take my cash, and it let me only put like 5 or 4 bills in at a time. And I was like, oh my God. Like this, and I accidentally canceled it. I like put in the wrong thing. I put checks, and I meant to put cash, and I said cancel or X or whatever, and I pushed cancel to give me my card, and every single time I wanted to put money in, I had to put my ATM, and I was like, oh my God, these people can see my money, and I'm counting it to make sure that I know how much I'm putting in, so that I can say, yes, this is that amount. And it was like, it's like, my boyfriend said it was going to count my stock. I almost let somebody go ahead of me, but I was like, no. I was like, dude, there's another, like, these people are staring at me like, there's another freaking ATM on the other side of the building. Like, you don't need to stand there. Like, if I had known that was going to happen, I potentially would go to that ATM in the drive-thru. Like, but I was not driving it that time. We already went through line and waited in line because the lobby's not open. And I was like, I have taken literally, I think, 2 or 3 months. I went in to change my ATM card pen because I didn't know it. After that happened, I was told to go to, I had to cash 2 checks, so I deposited some money and I got like $60 in cash. And then I went back over and they were told me, you have to go to the people at the front door. There's 2 women there, and they were looking at me like, And there's one new lady that's getting trained, and this other lady, and I felt like I was being targeted so bad, and I was just like, yeah, I need to change my ATM card or PIN number. I don't know it. I never used my card, and I just got back to the East Coast, and they're like, let me see your card, and like, no, I just canceled your card. I was like, you canceled my card? Like, yeah, I'm gonna take your card. Your card is inactive. And I was like, it's inactive, but it's not expired. It says like 2022 on there, or 222 on the card. And I was like, oh my God, it's inactive. and my account wasn't inactive because I was taking money that I had saved and using it to help pay my rent. So I was like taking money out and transferring it to a different bank that I had a checking account with. And so I was like, can I have the card so that I can come in and do a transaction at the counter with my card, because I don't have my like account number memorized. And they're like, no, it's already canceled. I'm I'm going to order you a new card. I said, okay. Well, I did some banking the other day because I called and asked if I can change my PIN over the phone or online, and they said no, I have to go in person. So you won't let me change the PIN. But I didn't say I applied for credit. I was like, I applied for credit, and I had changed my address online, and it sent my information to Oregon, the letter that said yes or no, you got credit. And I had changed my address, and I was like, oh crap. I was like, well, maybe the credit card people didn't get the update yet because it has to go through the system or something. Like, I'm trying to make up an excuse for them. And so I really got like screwed because I'm like, I don't know my account number. It's an ATM card, savings. I don't have like a savings deposit slips or anything. And at one time I had got stuff stolen, some checks. I don't know if it was one of those accounts. I had to change the bank account, get a notary, and all this jazz. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. I'm not even gonna lie. And so she took my card. She wouldn't give it back to me so I could use it at the counter as or if I had to call, they ask you what's your card number. They don't always ask you your social security number. Sometimes they ask both in your PIN. So they're like, oh, we can't change your PIN. I can't give you the card. It's already been canceled. And it'll come in your mail, which is actually my P.O. box. And then I think the debit number, PIN number was in there too. It wasn't a debit card, it's an ATM card only. So I can't even use that at a store or anything. It was a pain in my derriere. So I get the stuff, and then I get this letter that I've been carrying around that says that I have to have a 300 average monthly balance, and my account was going to change to have that by 3/4/2020. It is now 4/20/2020. And I'm like, oh crap. I asked them if you could not take any fees out. I didn't get an email back. They told me to download the app yesterday or on Saturday. So, because like, oh, your bank is closed. Download the app and use your phone as a card and go to the ATM and deposit your money. Because I was like, I need to have that $300. So I don't want my $6 a month coming out of my account. I've had that happen before and the account goes to zero. And like that happened before when they said my address changed and the mail got sent back, so they called it inactive and they took my money. Like, they didn't try to call my number or have it forwarded. That bank, oh my god. You gotta be careful when you move, guys. Like, I had a spreadsheet in my old computer, which is not, I should just have a notebook with stuff. And so I ended up getting that. I swore I got the debit card or the ATM PIN number. I swore, I said, oh my god, they're not supposed to ship these together, but it's because the P.O. box, I probably didn't check my mail every day. So it probably came 2 separate days, but who cares? Who knows? Nobody stole it. I think this is the one that said this card is already active. You don't need to do anything, which creeped me out too, because it wasn't a debit card, I guess. So someone can't just run it as a credit card, I guess. And so that happened. I said in my mind, okay, I have to get money in there by March. I didn't have a job by March. My boyfriend didn't have a job by March. We had no money. We're borrowing money. Had to pay rent. We borrowed money. Having used my credit card to buy everything. Like, oh my god, I don't want my I might as well close the bank account down and hold the cash, you know. But it's like, why be wishy-washy with the bank? Oh, you're shady. You open it up, shut it down, have numbers change, this and that, have your relative connected to it. Who knows what notes they have in there. Be complaining about abuse. People will judge you by it being abuse. That's why they have to make a law, like in Oregon, where you can't be evicted because the abuser comes and causes the havoc, you know, in the middle of the night. Because people were getting evicted because of someone else was being crazy. And it's not safe if they bring guns. That happened in our neighborhood. Gunshots 2 different days. But I had the ATM card. I got it. I didn't think about it. Then recently I'm like, oh my god, we have a couple bucks. I got to put some money in there. And I didn't do my taxes yet, so I don't know if I owe them money or not. But they said I had to scrape up my bank accounts in order to get the minimum. So I have another one that has, you need $1,500 in it, so I need $600 more. I hope it's, I think I need $900 in that account before the 29th. So I gotta do that before the 29th. And so I'm thinking right now, I gotta put that on the calendar. Let's just do it, guys. I have a pencil. I have a pen over here, I think. My house is a mess. Even if this was a mansion with closets and cabinets, I swear to God, if it was a mansion with closets and cabinets, I swear this stuff would be put away and I'd actually decorate if I had the money. If I had the money, I would buy or scrounge at yard sales or make wall coverings, paint the walls a nice pastel color, like a light orange with a little bit of green somewhere else, and it would have like nice bedspread, little rugs, tiny little ones, not that don't get bugs in them, and fix up bathroom up, have the appropriate lighting, appropriate heater, fans, and filters. So then I end up going on Saturday thinking, oh shoot, it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They closed at 1. The guy says, I can mail you a PIN number now or you can go next week. So my partner was supposed to work Monday through Friday. Like, oh crap. Well, maybe I can get the car. I had a feeling I have this piece of paper somewhere. My son found the old one in the file cabinet at home from the debit card, that's been no longer in use. I should have kept that checking account though. I feel like an idiot. I should have kept the checking account and then kept the savings account so that I'd have ability to use an ATM or debit card and not just get cash here and there. So I ended up having where the guys went fishing. I was not invited, and then I think as an afterthought they're asked if I'm going. I'm like, oh heck no. I've been there, done that before. My friend says, I feel like I need to learn about CPA. I finally filled out a W-9 form, right? Isn't that employment verification? Like right when you say how much taxes you want out of your account. So then I go ahead and go home. I can't find the paper. I told you that last video I made, I choked on I don't know what, got stuck in my throat, and I thought I was going to die, so I went to sleep last night, which is Sunday. Monday, he got called off work because the guy who he works with is sick or not feeling well. So I was like, okay, that should be, we don't know if this guy's going to call because my partner's going back and forth. He's ready to work. He's going back and forth running errands. And I'm like, okay, he's running errands and stuff. I can get some of my paperwork and my grant writing and my taxes, my daughter's taxes, and her paperwork for her job and my jobs and all this stuff done. And of course, I didn't do anything. And actually, I couldn't get into the grant. I can't remember my password and login. That's a dang shame, too, huh? I worked on it all last week, and there's a glitch in the system. And I remembered this morning that I could fill the stuff out manually on a PDF and email it to them. And first come, first serve with some of the stuff. Even if you don't qualify, you need to get that stuff in first. Because if you qualify greatly and you run out of funds, you're done. So I think I should have got that in the first day. That's why you need an office worker who can do that kind of stuff. So I ended up going in today, going and waiting through line. I called before I went. And I said, oh, somebody told me that I can get my ATM pen. I don't have one. And they're like, yeah, you come in through the drive-thru today, and we'll give you a pen number. Well, you can't pick your own, though, because the lobby's not open where you can't use the keypad. You can't pick your own, but you can come in. I said, okay. And I get there, and they're like, no, we can't let you pick a pen number. I was like, I just called a few minutes ago. They said, I don't have a pen. Like, you can go change your pen number at the ATM. I was like, I can't change it because I don't even have one. Because that would be, you'd have to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Or they'd change it to 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 6, 7, 8, 9. That's like 4. And I was like, no. And I couldn't hear the lady. She's wearing a mask. I felt rude because I was a passenger. And she's like, I can't hear you. I was like, tell her this, tell her that. And she's like, oh, okay. I'll see what we could do. So I guess it looked like there was a guy that answered the phone, so I'm not sure if it's the same guy. It took a very long time. Like, not that long, but it took longer than I thought. In my mind, it's just like, bing, bing, bing. And they're like, okay. And so they're like, it'll be just a minute. And the guy got on there. I was like, I wonder if that's the guy I talked to, which I'm really glad that I talked to someone, because she was like, no, you can't change your PIN number here. But what if I really did need to change my PIN number? I guess, yeah, if you know the old one. Because they're like, no, we'll have to order you a new card. And I was like, no, I've been ordered a new card 3 months ago. Then they tell me to come in and change the PIN. And by the time I think about it, for the past month and a half, the place, you can't even go in anyways. The lobby has been closed. I was like, I used to have 2 safe deposit boxes in Portland, which is kind of expensive, but they were like $20 a piece. I think one went up in price. I was like, I shut it down. I said, I'm going to keep 1 safe deposit box. It's close to the house. And then I was like, we can ride a bike if there's an emergency. There's probably only going to be like $5 in there and like 3/4 and maybe a silver dollar, like a non-silver dollar. I got to do my class. I shut it down because that bank closed, because the whole grocery store that was inside a post office, a liquor store, a cake bakery, and a bank with a safe deposit box. I shut it down because of that. Thank God that happened before I left Oregon. Because they're going to charge you they're going to take your stuff. Basically, they're confiscate their stuff. They're going to drill through the lock, charge you money, store it for like 3 months, and if you don't claim it, it's done. Even if it was like a bunch of family stuff. So now it's in the house. I don't have any safe deposit box. But I'm kind of glad, because my kids were probably signers on them. Maybe, maybe not. It's harder when they're over 18. I don't want to have all my eggs in the same basket, but at the same time, I don't have to worry about a bank that's not open in Oregon, and oh my gosh, what if I left a key to something in that bank? Would the kids have to go in there? What if they actually weren't signers, or what if we didn't go in there for so long? I just like sprained my hand. Like, what would I do with my kids out there and me out here thinking I'm supposed to be in Oregon right now, but I'm stuck because there's no traveling. And we got bags. This was like $13.99. It was like $2 for 20. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, we got ripped off. He wouldn't pay $2, like $1.67 for 20 flat tie ones, but he paid like $14 for the drawstring ones, and I'm like, whatever. Like, there's 80, okay? But yeah, I gotta get on a webinar. But it's ridiculous because I felt like it was good timing for some things, and I'm so impatient. So this is, I promised that I wasn't going to be buying a whole bunch of office supplies, but I bought this at Walmart. I have the box. This is the Sterilite brand. Hopefully it will last. I should have gotten file binder clips, but my daughter said I have a binder clip addiction. I think I'm going to order some to my P.O. box and see if it gets delivered some way, because I haven't ordered packages to there. And then I got these. These were like $2. This is not cost efficient to get 6 of these. The other one was like $8.77 for 25, and this is only 6. But I thought, colors, and like maybe my businesses will be that. You can see I always have papers, and then I've been going through losing my tax papers and this and that, and my boyfriend, I don't even know if I'm putting his stuff in here. He has a huge legal size freaking file cabinet in the storage, and I'm like, we have this old furniture, we have no room, we're in a less than a studio apartment, I don't know what to do. There's furniture that was here that takes up a whole heck of a lot of space that was here before the manager, before the owner didn't take it out, and I'm thinking maybe one or both of those, we can get rid of this table, put the file cabinet there, put the microwave on top, and then the lamp. Both of those should fit on there, and then the other stuff is clutter, basically dishes and food, because we don't have any cabinets. We don't have any place to store dishes but in the sink, and we're pretty good at doing dishes, or you're not going to be brushing your teeth too well. Peace, guys.